So there must be some outreach of some collective group of people that they see you and they know that when I see this person, I associate them with that. Kim Kardashian is behind the counter taking orders. You'd be like, oh, that's Kim Kardashian. She's famous. But then there's going to be a reckoning moment. You'd be like, why is she selling tires? That's kind of weird. I don't know her as a tire salesperson. So 11 touches, 7 hours of consumption across 4 different mediums. You do that, and they're pretty much sold by that point. I already think you're the right person to do it, then I'm ready to go forward. That is the power of a personal brand. On last month's 3-day challenge, I always start off all these challenges. We do it every month. Actually, we're doing the first one coming up, or the next one coming up on May 28th, 29th, and 30th. If you've not seen that, then I'll put a link in the description below. It's where we help you basically at the end of, or at the beginning of every single whatever business session, I ask a question of like, hey, what are our intentions for today? And if there's one thing that you wanted to learn from today's session, put that in chat. Let me know what it is. And then we'll always add a few things to make sure we can get all those questions answered. Some of these sessions have 30 people on it. Some of them have hundreds of people on it, right? They vary significantly based on the month and the topic that we covered. And last month's was kind of interesting. I had multiple people say, could you actually define what a personal brand is? And I had some thoughts, so I was kind of going back and forth. And somebody says, no, what is the definition of a personal brand? And how do you know that you have one? I thought that was a really good question. Nobody's ever asked me that before, and I've never really thought to articulate it. And so I'm going to give you guys my opinion over what a personal brand is and the 3 components of a personal brand. It means something different than everybody else, and it's probably more complex and more simple than you probably think it is. But if it has these 3 components, chances are you know you have it. Component number 1 is there must be an element of fame in there. Fame is not a personal brand. Fame is a component of personal brand, right? So there must be some big outreach of some collective group of people that they see you and they know that when I see this person, I associate them with that. Fame is understanding who they are. The association is the personal brand. So that's component number 1. Component number 2 is education. Are you creating content out there that is educating people to understand, number 1, how to become an expert in what they're looking to buy or acquire? And number 2, are you educating them to help them understand that you are their only choice for the solution of that problem? So we've got component number 1, fame. We've got component number 2, education. And component number 3 is cadence. How often are you willing to talk about that education on the platform that you are doing? When all 3 of those meet, meaning when people know who you are, they associate you with the education, and you do it enough, you now have a personal brand because it comes full circle where they're like, hey, I know this person and I know they do this and I believe they're the best at their craft. That is a personal brand. And all the comments were like, oh my gosh, that was super simple. And then there were a couple other comments were like, yeah, that's kind of like weird. I don't understand that. Can you go deeper? Well, let me give you an example. If you thought of somebody who was like super famous, think of any of the Jenners or the Kardashians or like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi or like back during the heyday of baseball, in my opinion, because I'm a Gen Xer, like Sammy Sosa, Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, like that whole area. All of those people are very famous. But if you went into a tire store to go buy new tires, and I'm saying this because I had to buy new tires yesterday, and you walk in there and you see all the tires on the wall and you're like, okay, cool. Looks like they've got a good selection. The place is clean. Everybody looks happy. And then Kim Kardashian is behind the counter taking orders. You'd be like, oh, that's Kim Kardashian. She's famous. But then there's going to be a reckoning moment. You'd be like, why is she selling tires? That's kind of weird. I don't know her as a tire salesperson. And so now all of a sudden your guard's up, right? Is she doing a sponsorship here? Why is she here? This is weird. Do I even want to talk? Like all these things happen. That's what happens when fame does not attach with the education. There is a disconnect from that, right? So you've seen this in your market. You may have people that are very well known on Instagram that do like all the trendy dances, or maybe they show too much skin, or they're doing a lot of AI stuff, or they're, you know who I'm talking about. These are the people that are always doing like what's in right now, but you can never really answer like what they do professionally. And so what happens is because they follow all the trends and they only do what's popular right now, that the only thing they can do is really just teach other people how to do what's popular right now. And there's really no brand attached to that. It's just the flavor of the week that they're doing. So my suggestion to you is if you're looking to build a personal brand in your market, number 1, can you manufacture an element of fame? Number 2, will you commit to educating the people that are looking for your service to help them understand that you are their only perceived choice for the solution? And number 3, will you increase the cadence of doing that so that when it comes time for them to buy, they've seen, they've learned, They've looked at everything that you have to offer. And when it comes time to make that buying decision, you are their only choice. Google has a stat. I'm probably going to butcher it right now. I should have wrote this down as well in this podcast, but they call it the 1174 rule. And if you understand that every customer that needs to buy a high ticket purchase from you, something that I consider high ticket, anything that somebody has to think about, a $50 Amazon order is not a high ticket order. High ticket order is also not a $50,000 order. I mean, 50,000 is high ticket, but everything's kind of relative, right? So whatever somebody has to make a decision around a purpose, they need to go through Google. What Google's found, the 1174 means 11 touches, meaning they have to see your message or you or a video or your podcast at least 11 times. They need to spend 7 hours consuming that content across 4 different mediums. So 11 touches, 7 hours of consumption across 4 different mediums. You do that, and they're pretty much sold by that point. When they hop on a sales call, and we've had this in our, especially in the consulting side, there'll be people that hop on calls with me. I probably get 2 or 3 a week that fit this criteria. And I don't know who they are. They're not in my circle, or we've never talked before. And they'll inevitably say something like, I feel like I've known you. You know, I saw you speak on stage, or I watched the podcast, or I'm on YouTube, or I'm on your email list, or, you know, we're really big in the ad space. So I've seen your ads before, and I don't really have any question whether you're the right person. The questions that I really have is, will this work for me? So if we could just work through those questions and, you know, get all that answered, assuming you think it's going to work for me, I already think you're the right person to do it, then I'm ready to go forward. That is the power of a personal brand. I'll give it to you one more time before I cut you loose. Number one, will you build a fame component to it, or a memorable experience? This can be on written word, on podcast or video, or speaking on stage or billboards. You can manufacture this in almost any medium that's out there. Number two, will you focus on educating the public and allowing them to understand that you are their only perceived choice for the solution they're looking for? And number three, will you up the cadence of doing that so that the 1174 rule kicks in? That's my definition of a personal brand. If you have a different definition, put it in the comments below. I'd love to see like how you guys think about a personal brand. It is the easiest sales machine you will ever build in your career. There is even better than a 500-person sales team. A personal brand will change the way that you do business forever. Doesn't matter what you do. You could be a CEO, a president, a sales leader, a salesperson, a entry-level data admin. A personal brand will change your complete life. Those are the 3 components of how I define that. Do you see it differently? Or maybe there's something you feel like I left out? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. I'll see you guys on the next one.